Lockbomb Show.
Welcome to the Lockbomb Show. You know, people come up to me all the time and ask, John, why do you do your show? And my answer is always the same. It's for the fans. You know, a lot of hard work and thought goes into each and every episode. And when I log into YouTube and I see all those views and comments and likes and subscribers, it makes all that hard work worthwhile. Let's see. What? That can't be. So what can I say about Mega Man 3? It's pretty dope. If you're a fan of the others, you'll enjoy this one. It's got stellar maps, solid music, and returns you back to that run and gun feel that we've come to know and love about this franchise. It's different from the first two in that they seem to have nerfed your primary weapon in some of the boss fights. In Mega Man 1, you could pretty much beat the crap out of everyone with the exception of Guts Man, with only your starting weapon. In Mega Man 2, it was effective but not as strong. And in Mega Man 3, you can't beat up a dang thing. I think their line of reasoning must have been trying to force you to figure out boss weaknesses and reward you when you got it right. One thing they added was the iconic slide dash that Mega Man is pretty much known for in the later games. This really seemed to transform the way that the boss battles go and gave you the option of actually trying to dodge attacks as opposed to just getting riddled with projectiles while trying to land just enough shots without being fatally wounded. What a novel idea. Even with your primary weapon basically shooting out wads of paper, this game seemed significantly easier to me than Mega Man 2, as they added a ton of those life containers all over. Most of them aren't even hidden, and you don't have to show any skill or risk to get them. They're just sitting there obstructing your path. And you don't have to use them too often, so by the time I got to the final levels, it was smooth sailing because I could just pause the fight and replenish all of my health 6 times over. So I'm totally okay with forcing players to learn bosses' weaknesses and in order for strategizing, but could you have picked more confusing bosses? Okay, so I fight Shadow Man. Logically, shadows are broken by light, so maybe Spark Man as sparks cause light? Wrong! Top Man. Apparently, shadows are weak against you twirling in the air like some kind of idiot. Alright, well, Needle Man. Needles are metal, so Magnet Man could suck them all up, right? Wrong! Gemini Man. That's right, Gemini Man. The most useless freaking power I've ever seen. Sure, it looks cool, I mean it's a laser, but it shoots so slow, and if you miss, it just ricochets off the walls forever, and you can't shoot another shot until your first shot ends. Oh, what a piece of crap. I mean, how the crap am I supposed to know that Shadow Man is weak against Top Man, and that Needle Man is weak against Gemini Man? That, like, it makes no sense. And of course, what Mega Man game wouldn't be complete without those disappearing blocks that are the blight of my existence? I mean, could you pick a more mind-numbing sound to put on continuous loop? I just want to jump into the nearest pitfall and stop myself from hearing that awful noise. Sometimes I literally mute the game to stop hearing that stupid sound over and over. It's maddening. Something that really drives me crazy is how they keep coming up with creative ways to put these blocks in the game and make them more obnoxious. I mean, in Mega Man 1 you had the spike mines pinging beneath you, so if you miscalculated and fell, it was gonna hurt you. In Mega Man 2 they said, screw you and the spike mines, let's just put lava and bottomless pits beneath you. If you mess up there, you're just dead. And in this game they put bottomless pits along with fans pushing and pulling against you in opposite directions while you're trying to figure out the patterns and the timing of the disappearing blocks. Like really, why do they keep adding this to their games? It's the most annoying part of every game and it has nothing to do with the plot or the levels or the bosses or anything. It's just some annoying BS puzzle that they randomly put in as a filler and then just decided to keep like making it a staple of their game. And they're progressively getting worse and worse. It's like Mega Man's going up against Jigsaw. Every time he solves one, it just brings you one step closer to the next painful death trap.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.
The really hard part of the game comes into play when you beat the first bosses. Historically, you'd go to Wily's castle, but in this game 4 altered levels appear with mystery bosses. It turns out that these mystery bosses are the ghosts of the bosses from Mega Man 2 that you already beat. And it was just kind of funny, it seemed like all the bosses I made fun of in the last video came back for revenge. I'm sorry Flashman, I didn't mean it. I'm sure you're a great performer. You were just a little tired that night. Quick man, it's gonna be okay. Maybe just have a glass of wine first. Unfortunately, the game difficulty peaks at those 4 levels and begins to gradually decline for the remainder of the game. As I said before, they are very liberal with dispensing those energy and life containers, so if you're skilled enough to make it to Wily's castle, you're gonna win. So when you get to Wily, I like to use Hard Punch to break his robot head, and then Snake Man to throw snakes into the top of his machine. Doesn't that sound like a bad way to be defeated? Imagine you were flying a jet or something and someone just dumped a bucket full of killer snakes into the cockpit with you. The ending of this game is confusing to me, but that's no surprise. They mention Proto Man and you're supposed to have this emotional attachment to him, and you find out he's your robot brother or something, but he's not been developed as a character at all. I mean, if anything, you're conditioned to just get pissed off every time you see him. In the first 2 games, there are these annoying enemies that look just like him, and then in this game, there's the clone of him running around in a bunch of levels, slowing you down and fighting you, and just getting in your way. No, get out of the way! Why are you such a jerk, Proto Man? So, you blow up the imposter, and the real one saves you at the end, but still, I just don't think there was nearly enough for me to care about this random robot. I mean, who cares if he's floating in the clouds like at the end of Star Wars? I want Obi-Wan Kenobi back, not you. You just jump in my way and get on my nerves.
1 week later.
It's been a week since I released Lockbomb Show episode 6, and now I want to see just how much all that hard work paid off. Oh,